Not every man says I love you easily, but that doesn't mean he doesn't feel it deeply. For some, love isn't always expressed in 3 perfect words. Instead, it's woven into actions, presence, and small, consistent choices that speak volumes without needing to be translated. If you've ever found yourself wondering whether he truly cares, even though he hasn't said the words, pay close attention. Sometimes love is quiet. Sometimes it's steady. And sometimes it's already there, showing up in ways that are far more powerful than a fleeting sentence. The truth is, real connection doesn't always come wrapped in romance or obvious declarations. Often, it lives in the unnoticed, the way he looks at you when you're not paying attention, the effort he makes when you're tired or overwhelmed, the little things he remembers even when you forget you said them. When a man is emotionally invested, his heart speaks through behavior, and if you know what to look for, you'll start to see the signs, clear as day. This kind of bond doesn't rush. It builds slowly, layer by layer. And while it might not follow the script you've seen in movies or fairy tales, it's often more genuine. You begin to realize that the way he brings you soup when you're sick, checks in during a stressful week, or makes space for your dreams says more than any grand confession ever could. Because love, in its purest form, isn't about how loud someone can say it. It's about how deeply they live it. Every woman deserves to feel cherished, not just by words, but by the way she's held emotionally, supported without condition, and chosen again and again. If he's doing these things quietly, without needing applause or attention, chances are his heart is already invested. These gestures may seem small, but they carry the weight of something real, something intentional. So if you're with someone who hasn't said, I love you yet, don't panic. Take a breath, step back, and look at the patterns. The signs are always there, in the way he stays close when you're distant, the way he listens when you're quiet, and the way he honors who you are without asking you to shrink. That's the kind of love that lasts, the kind that grows in silence and shows itself when it matters most. Here are 15 beautiful ways he may be building that bond with you, without ever needing to say the words. 1. He remembers the little details you mention. When a man remembers the little details you mention, it's more than just good memory, it's intentional care. It shows that he's listening not just to respond, but to understand and connect with you on a deeper level. When you casually bring up something about your favorite childhood snack, a stressful meeting coming up, or a dream you had, and he brings it up days or weeks later, it means he's holding your words in a special place. You didn't have to repeat yourself. You didn't have to remind him. He simply paid attention, and that's rare. This kind of attention isn't about grand gestures. It's in the small things. Maybe you once mentioned that your favorite flowers are sunflowers, and one day he brings you some just because. Or you said you hate cold coffee, and he always checks if your drink is still warm. These gestures aren't loud declarations of love, but quiet signs that he's tuned into you. He's absorbing your world and showing you that your thoughts, memories, and even offhand comments matter to him. It also reflects emotional maturity. A man who remembers the little things is someone who isn't just focused on himself. He's investing energy into learning who you are and showing you that you're not just another person in his life. You're someone worth paying attention to. Even if he hasn't said, I love you, this is one of the clearest ways he expresses care. His actions say, I see you, I hear you, and you matter to me. Many people say, I love you without showing it. But someone who remembers the details is doing the opposite, showing love without saying the words. It's subtle, it's meaningful, and it often speaks louder than any sentence ever could. 2. He prioritizes spending time with you. When a man consistently prioritizes spending time with you, it's a powerful sign that you're becoming a central part of his life. People make time for what matters to them, no matter how busy they are. So when he arranges his schedule, makes plans in advance, or even shows up just to see you for a few moments, it reveals a deep emotional investment. This kind of effort shows he wants to be present, not just physically, but emotionally too. Whether it's staying in for a quiet evening, running errands together, or joining you at events that may not interest him personally, he's showing that your presence is more important than the activity itself. He's not just checking in when it's convenient. He's making time because you matter. Sometimes, it's in the smallest choices. He turns down a night out with friends just to help you through a bad day. He includes you in his routine without hesitation. He invites you to share in the things he loves, and he's genuinely interested in being part of your world too. Prioritizing time also means he's not playing games or keeping you in the background. He's building trust, brick by brick, through consistency. And even if he hasn't spoken the words "I love you," this effort speaks volumes. It shows commitment. It shows care. It shows that your happiness and connection mean something to him. Real love grows in the moments we choose each other, again and again. So if he keeps showing up, keeps choosing time with you over distraction or distance, then he's building something real, something rooted, and something that words alone could never fully express. 3. He listens closely and attentively. When a man listens closely and attentively, it reveals a quiet form of emotional intimacy. He's not just hearing the words you say, he's absorbing the meaning behind them. He's tuned into your voice, your pauses, your emotions, and even the things you're not saying out loud. It's a subtle way of saying, "I value what's on your mind," and "what matters to you matters to me." This kind of listening isn't passive. He's fully present in the conversation. He puts down his phone. He maintains eye contact. He doesn't interrupt or rush you to finish. Even in silence, he stays with you, offering his full attention as if the world can wait. That kind of presence is rare, and when someone gives it, they're investing something much deeper than words. Attentive listening also builds emotional safety. You start to feel seen, understood, respected. You don't have to repeat yourself or explain why something is important, because he's already picked up on it. He remembers your stories, your fears, your quirks. Not to use them against you, but to build a stronger bond. And when conflict happens, he listens to understand, not just to defend himself. That's a quiet sign of love, because it takes maturity to set ego aside and really hear someone's heart, especially in tense moments. Many people can talk, but few can truly listen. So if he listens deeply, not just to your words, but to your silence, your feelings, your moods, he's doing something powerful. He's showing love without needing to say it. He's choosing connection over convenience. And in a world full of noise, that kind of listening is its own beautiful language. 4. He makes you feel safe and protected. When a man makes you feel safe and protected, it's one of the clearest unspoken signs of emotional connection. This isn't just about physical safety, though he may instinctively place himself on the side closer to traffic or walk you to your car late at night. It's also about emotional security. You feel like you can breathe around him. You feel grounded, not judged. You feel calm, not anxious. He creates an environment where your vulnerability is met with gentleness, not criticism, where your fears aren't dismissed, but held with care. He pays attention when something bothers you and takes action to ease that discomfort. Not because he has to, but because he wants to. Whether it's offering reassurance, stepping in during a tough situation, or simply standing by you when things get hard, he becomes a quiet shield between you and the world. When someone makes you feel protected, You stop bracing yourself for disappointment or betrayal. You stop walking on eggshells. You begin to trust that you don't have to explain your worth. He already sees it. That sense of safety opens the door to deeper emotional intimacy. You can laugh louder, cry openly, speak freely, because you know he's not going anywhere. It's easy to say, "I love you," but it takes consistent actions to make someone feel loved. So when he gives you a sense of security just by being present, when his arms feel like home and his voice eases your worry, that's something real. That's a bond that's quietly, powerfully growing. And even without the words, you start to feel it in your bones. You're safe here, you're cherished, and you matter. 5. He shares his personal goals and dreams. When a man shares his personal goals and dreams with you, it's a powerful indicator that he sees you as someone who belongs in his future. Opening up about ambitions, fears, or long-term plans isn't something most people do lightly, especially men who tend to guard their deeper aspirations until they feel safe. So when he lets you into that part of his world, it means he trusts you, respects your insight, and wants you to understand who he truly is beneath the surface. He's not just talking about the day-to-day, he's telling you where his heart is headed. Whether it's starting a business, traveling the world, writing a book, or building a family one day, he's revealing the blueprint of his inner life. And by sharing it with you, he's not only letting you see what motivates him, but also inviting you to be part of that journey. It shows that he values your opinion. He may ask what you think or look for encouragement from you, not because he's unsure of himself, but because your presence matters that much, and it reflects a deeper connection. He doesn't just want a partner in the present moment. He's imagining you walking alongside him into the future. Even in his moments of doubt, when he shares the things he's scared of failing at, it reveals courage. Vulnerability like that builds trust, and it creates space for emotional closeness. He's not performing, he's being real. And through that honesty, the bond between you strengthens. So if he opens up about what he wants from life, what keeps him up at night, or what he's working toward, don't underestimate it. That's not just a conversation, that's connection. And it may be his quiet way of saying, "You matter enough to know who I really am." 6. He checks in on you regularly. When a man checks in on you regularly, it's his way of staying connected even when you're apart. It shows that he's thinking about you, not just during big moments, but in the quiet, ordinary spaces of his day. He's not doing it out of obligation. He's doing it because he genuinely cares about how you're feeling, what you're going through, and what's on your mind. These check-ins might come as a simple, "How's your day going?" or "Did you eat?" or "Just wanted to hear your voice." But beneath those casual words is something deeper, a steady emotional presence. He doesn't need a reason to reach out. Your well-being is reason enough. This kind of effort shows emotional consistency. He's showing you, over and over, that you're not alone, that someone out there is looking out for you, not in grand, flashy ways, but in the moments that count. He wants to know when you're happy, when you're tired, when you're overwhelmed, and when you just need someone to listen. It also builds a sense of emotional security. When someone checks in regularly, they're reminding you, "You matter to me even when we're not together." They're weaving themselves into your life in a way that feels safe, steady, and thoughtful. Even when he doesn't say the words, "I love you," this pattern of care says so much. It says he notices you. He values your emotional space. He wants to stay close. In a world where people are often distracted and self-absorbed, that kind of attention is rare. And it's one of the clearest ways someone silently says, "I'm here for you." 7. He makes sacrifices to be there for you. When a man makes sacrifices to be there for you, it speaks louder than any romantic phrase ever could. It shows that he's willing to put your needs, comfort, or well-being ahead of his own convenience. This isn't about grand gestures or dramatic moves. It's about the small, quiet choices he makes that prioritize you over what's easy, expected, or self-serving. He might reschedule something important to support you during a difficult day. He might drive across town late at night just because you needed someone to talk to. He may pass on something he really wanted, time with friends, sleep, a trip, because being by your side matters more to him in that moment, and he never brings it up to earn praise. He does it because your presence in his life has meaning. Sacrifice is one of the purest forms of love because it requires selflessness. When he quietly adjusts his life to accommodate yours, even in ways that stretch him, he's saying without words, "You're worth it." It shows maturity, loyalty, and emotional depth. You'll notice that these sacrifices aren't made out of pressure or guilt. He chooses them. He may not always shout his feelings, but you'll feel it in the way he shows up, in the rain, in the stress, in the silence, in the chaos. And he does it not because you demanded it, but because love, for him, is not about what he can take. It's about what he's willing to give. So when you look at all the ways he bends, shifts, and adjusts just to be there, to make your life even a little lighter, understand this. He may not say, "I love you" yet, but he's showing it with every quiet sacrifice he makes. 8. He includes you in his inner circle. When a man includes you in his inner circle, it's a powerful sign that he sees you as more than just a passing presence in his life. He's inviting you into the private, personal spaces that he usually reserves for those he deeply trusts. This isn't just about meeting his friends or family. It's about belonging in the world he's carefully built around himself. It means you're not kept in the background. You're not someone he hides or avoids talking about. Instead, he wants the people closest to him to know who you are. He wants you present at gatherings, in conversations, in the places where real life unfolds, the raw, unfiltered parts. It's his way of saying, "You're important to me, and I want you to be part of everything that matters." Inclusion like this also reflects emotional transparency. He's not just sharing his time, he's sharing his life. He lets you see his friendships, his values, his dynamics with the people who've shaped him. And more than that, he wants you to fit into that world, not just observe it from the outside. You'll also notice how he introduces you, not as a guest or someone temporary, but with pride and presence. And when you're with his people, he checks in with you, makes sure you're comfortable, and bridges the gap between you and them. That's not casual behavior. That's someone who's rooting your connection into the fabric of his reality. So even if he hasn't yet said, "I love you," bringing you into his inner circle is his quiet way of saying, "You're not just part of my now, I'm making space for you in my always." 10. He makes an effort to resolve arguments. When a man makes a real effort to resolve arguments, it shows that he values the relationship more than his ego. Disagreements are a natural part of any close bond, but how someone handles conflict reveals their true emotional intentions. If he's willing to stay present in the tension, listen to your side, and work toward peace instead of winning, that's love in its most mature form. He doesn't run when things get hard. He doesn't shut down or punish you with silence. Instead, he tries to understand where the breakdown happened and how to fix it. Not just to make things calm again, but to make the connection stronger. He might not always have the right words, and he may need time to think, but he comes back. He shows up, and that says everything. Effort in conflict resolution also means he sees you as a partner, not an opponent. He chooses softness when he could lash out. He chooses patience when it would be easier to walk away. And he's not trying to manipulate or control. He's trying to rebuild trust and communication, brick by brick. Even when he's hurt, he doesn't let pride block the path to reconnection. That's emotional growth. That's commitment. That's his way of saying, you matter more to me than being right. So if he fights fair, listens actively, and takes responsibility for his part, even when it's uncomfortable, he's not just managing conflict, he's deepening the bond. And while he may not say, I love you, in the heat of the moment, his actions during tough times reveal how deeply he actually cares. 11. He encourages your passions and growth. When a man encourages your passions and growth, it means he truly sees you, not just for who you are now, but for who you're becoming. He doesn't feel threatened by your dreams or your strength. Instead, he becomes a quiet force behind your progress, cheering you on, pushing you forward, and reminding you that your ambitions matter. He listens when you talk about what excites you. He remembers your goals, even the ones you're hesitant to say out loud. And when fear or doubt creeps in, he's the one who says, you've got this, and actually means it. He doesn't try to reshape you into someone more convenient or small. He embraces the fire in you and helps protect it from going out. You'll notice it in the little things. How he shares articles or ideas related to what you love. How he asks about your progress. How he celebrates your wins without making them about him. He becomes invested in your journey because your happiness isn't just a bonus to him, it's a priority. This kind of support is powerful because it's not rooted in control, but in respect. He doesn't push you in directions he wants. He stands beside you as you carve the path. That shows trust, confidence, and a deep emotional bond. Even if he doesn't say, I love you out loud, his encouragement is his way of saying, I believe in you, I'm proud of you, and I'm not here to hold you back. I'm here to lift you up. That's love in motion. That's partnership. And that's a sign of something real, lasting, and beautifully rare. 12. He celebrates your wins like they're his. When a man celebrates your wins like they're his own, it's a quiet but powerful expression of love. He's not just happy for you. He's happy with you, as if your victories reflect something meaningful in his own heart. It doesn't matter how big or small the achievement is, whether you landed a new job, passed a test, completed a project, or even just had a really good day. He lights up because you're happy. This kind of celebration isn't performative, it's sincere. You see it in his eyes, in the way he brags about you to others, or how he plans something special just to mark the moment. And it doesn't come with jealousy or competition. There's no sense of, why not me? There's only, I'm proud of you. That shows emotional maturity and genuine connection. He becomes your biggest fan, not because he wants credit, but because your success feels like a shared experience. Your growth feels like progress for both of you. Your joy adds to his life, and even in the moments when you hesitate to celebrate yourself, he's the one reminding you how far you've come. He uplifts your spirit when you minimize your achievements. He holds up a mirror to show you your strength. That kind of response speaks volumes. It tells you that he doesn't just want to be around you, he wants to rise with you. So even if he hasn't said, I love you, the way he lifts you higher every time you shine is one of the clearest signs that his heart is already wrapped around yours. 13. He notices and responds to your moods. When a man notices and responds to your moods, it means he's paying close attention, not just to your words, but to your energy, your silence, your smallest changes. He doesn't need you to explain that something's wrong. He senses it. Whether your tone is off, your smile is dimmer, or you're just quieter than usual, he picks up on it because he's emotionally tuned into you. But it doesn't stop there. He doesn't just notice, he responds. Gently, respectfully, and without pressuring you. He might ask if you're okay, offer comfort, or simply stay close in case you need him. He adjusts his energy to match what you need. If you want space, he gives it without resentment. If you want to talk, he listens without rushing you. And if you just want to be held in silence, he understands that too. This kind of emotional awareness creates a deep feeling of safety. It tells you that your emotions aren't a burden, that you don't have to perform happiness just to be loved. He accepts all parts of you, your joy, your stress, your sadness, your storms, and meets them with kindness instead of judgment. He may not always have the perfect words, but it's his presence that matters most. Just being there, checking in, showing concern, that's what builds the quiet foundation of trust. That's what makes you feel seen on a level far beyond surface. So even if he hasn't said, "I love you," the way he reads your emotional weather and stays steady through it all is a language of love that requires no translation. It's one of the clearest signs that he cares deeply, sincerely, and possibly more than even he's ready to admit. 14. He respects your boundaries naturally. When a man respects your boundaries naturally, it shows a deep level of care, maturity, and emotional intelligence. He doesn't wait for you to fight for space, explain your limits, or repeat yourself. He just gets it, intuitively and respectfully, whether it's your need for alone time, emotional pacing, physical space, or the way you choose to communicate. He honors it without making you feel guilty or dramatic. There's no resistance, no pushing, no manipulation. He doesn't take your no as a challenge or your silence as something to fix. Instead, he treats your boundaries as part of who you are, not a wall, but a way of saying, "This is how I need to be loved and understood," and he listens. This respect creates a relationship where you feel safe being yourself. You don't have to shrink, apologize, or over-explain just to be accepted. He's showing you that love doesn't mean control, pressure, or sacrifice of self. It means freedom to be fully who you are while still being embraced. Even more meaningful is the fact that he does this without being told every time. It's not about following rules, it's about valuing you. He pays attention, he adjusts, and he doesn't keep score. That kind of behavior shows he's not just in it for what he wants, he's building something mutual, something based on trust. So even if the words "I love you" haven't been spoken yet, the way he honors your comfort and boundaries speaks volumes. It's quiet, it's respectful, and it's one of the most meaningful ways someone can show love. Not by holding you tighter, but by giving you space and still choosing to stay close. 15. He shows up consistently, no matter what. When a man shows up consistently, no matter what, it's one of the strongest silent signs of deep emotional investment. Life is unpredictable. Schedules change, moods shift, things get messy. But if he remains steady through it all, he's showing you that his presence isn't conditional. He doesn't disappear when it's inconvenient. He doesn't check in only when it's easy. He's there when it's quiet, when it's chaotic, when you're shining, and when you're struggling. Consistency isn't about grand gestures. It's in the little things, the good morning texts, the late night calls, the follow-through on promises. It's him remembering what matters to you and showing up when it counts, not just once, but over and over. That kind of reliability is rare, especially in a world where people often drift in and out of each other's lives without warning. When he shows up consistently, it tells you that you're not just a fleeting moment in his life. You're becoming part of his rhythm, his routine, his chosen world. He doesn't treat you like an afterthought. He makes space for you every single day. And when things get hard, when there are misunderstandings, stress, distance, or disagreements, he doesn't vanish. He leans in. He communicates. He holds steady. That shows emotional strength, respect, and long-term intention. Words are important, but consistency is what turns connection into something real. So even if he hasn't said, "I love you," the way he consistently shows up is love in motion. It's proof that you're not just wanted when things are good, you're valued always.